Welcome to my channel, INTJ Island. Today I'm going to talk about how an INTJ trawls for ideas. A fishing trawler catches fish by dragging a large net behind a boat and pulls up whatever gets into the net. When I'm looking for a new topic to think about, my mind does something that is very similar to that. It begins by searching within itself. I look through the ideas I have lying around waiting for inspection. If you do that and nothing jumps up at you demanding attention, what do? This usually happens for me when I have just put another mental project to bed and my mind is hungry for something new to tackle. In my younger days, this often led to a trip to the library. I have spent countless hours browsing the shelves of libraries of cities, towns, aircraft carriers, and even isolated island Navy bases with the nearest civilian more than 1,000 miles away across the water. This is a great way to trawl for ideas to digest. I walk down a row of books organized by the Dewey Decimal System, with books of the same kind being shelved together. For just a moment, each bookbinding label falls under my scrutiny. If the title triggers an interest, I pull the book out and look to see if the name represents the contents correctly, and as often as not, the book goes right back onto the shelf. But after spending enough time moving down the shelves, I usually will have a stack of books that appear to be truly interesting. Often, my wife and I have gone to the library together. We always head off in completely different directions. I am in the non-fiction or science fiction area, and she is in the fiction and magazine area. When I have a collection of books, we often sit down at a table, and she will read her magazines while I give a more thorough examination to my haul from trawling the shelves. The librarians don't like having to correct the mistakes of visitors who don't put books back where they belong or don't do it neatly even if it is in the right place. So they have return carts where you can place books that need to go back on the shelves. It is easier for the staff to return them correctly than trying to police the shelves for mistakenly placed books. As I go through my collection of books, I will often find one that is not going to get read at home, and I place it on the cart. But once I am sure I'm going to be checking the books out, I set to reading the one that has captured my attention the most. I continue reading until my wife has had her fill of her magazines, and we head for the counter as I pull out my library card. Sometimes on a library visit, I have a particular topic in mind and I go right for those books. Years ago, I used to use the card catalog a lot. Today, that is all computerized, and so you can do a search for a particular book on a screen, and that has the advantage of telling you where the book is, even in any other library in the county. I can order the book and get it delivered usually very quickly if it is not on the shelf or checked out by someone else. There is a disconnect for me from the entire universe when I am walking down the library aisle. Here are all these opportunities to learn something or to be carried away into an alien universe where ideas will be making my mind work. The worst that can happen while I'm exploring my world of bound ideas is that someone else will be in my way. I like having an aisle all to myself. I can deal with another quiet soul who is also trawling for ideas, but it is better if I am alone. It is a rare day when I go into a library in search of something to engage my mind that I don't come away with at least one good book to take home and to be my friend. But the visits to the library these days are not as common as they once were, because there are so many alternatives. Just as email really hit the post office hard, along with stiff competition from companies like FedEx, the internet has opened up a whole world of information that is right at my fingertips. I assume you have been to Project Gutenberg. I will leave the link below just in case. They have over 50,000 books available for you to download at no charge. They rely on donations, but they do not demand them. Their works are all in the public domain and can be downloaded freely. They supply all the major formats like EPUB, MOBI, even text and PDF files. You will never be able to dig through all of the stuff at Internet Archive either. I will leave the link for that also below. It says there are millions of items on their site, and it is huge. There are many other sources of books, articles, short stories, web pages, free audiobooks, and more. So many books and so little time. Wikipedia and other knowledge databases are growing every day. YouTube videos are being uploaded in incredible numbers, and there are videos on so many topics right now you could never watch them all. I have 13 folders along the top of my browser window, along with the built-in Most Visited folder that was always there. I store bookmarks of various kinds in the folders for writing resources, books to download, articles, political videos, old movies, and many types of pages that are rich with ideas for my mind to use. My Kindle eBook reader has a string of books waiting for my attention, and I especially like books that push the limit on science and future possibilities, anything that makes me think. I use the Calibre program, I'll put a link to that also below, to create MOBI files for my Kindle from doc files of my own books I've either published or I'm still working on, and I can read them looking for corrections to make. So, whenever I finish working on one idea and I bring a project to completion, I always have a collection of possibilities to scan through to find the next one. How do you trawl for ideas when you're just starting a new intuition thinking cycle? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please click like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'll see you next time.